What is up, guys? Heath with Lake Champlain Sanitation here, and on today's episode of Trash Talk, we are with Cochran's Container Service. I'm hanging out with Doug today up in beautiful Saranac Lake, New York. He actually has his shop right next to the municipal department up here, which is pretty awesome. And I'm going to show you guys a small packer that we actually test drove. It's an international. I've never seen one like this in person. Doug's getting the truck warmed up. We're going to be dumping a container today, and I believe he said we might be dropping one. But basically this video, we're just going to get into his story, and hope you guys enjoy. So they run 33,000 GVWR trucks, guys. They've got a couple Peterbilts and then one little bit older backup truck. They're up to just about 50 cans, which is pretty crazy. Doug was a teacher, and like we said, he's going to get into his story here in just a couple minutes. This is one of their cans, guys. They run red dumpsters. This one is 25 yards. I believe they do anything from a 15 yard, even maybe a 10 yard, up to this 15 yard size with their 33,000 GVWR Peterbilt truck. As Doug gets loaded up behind me, guys, before we head to the landfill, if you want to be on one of the Trash Talk episodes, send me an email to lcsanitation@gmail.com. Link's going to be in the description for that email, guys. I'd like to start doing more of these interviews, like I said, as long as we're within driving distance of our shop for the time being. All right, guys, so we are up here at the Lake Clear transfer station. Never been here before. It's a lot cleaner than our landfill full of mud.
Brand new scales.
Ooh, they are new, huh?
Took a week.
Little scale.
A week to install. So the dump was closed for a week early. And then when I got back to the shop, there was like a little yellow pea. I was like, what is this?
Much calmer operation.
These are the boys.
Have you ever been in the Clinton County landfill?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
yet.
wow.
I've seen your videos.
You'll come down and hang out with me one day. Yeah, guys, is this more like your transfer stations? Let us know in the comments below. Dumping on concrete slab keeps the trucks a lot nicer, saves the front ends a little bit. All in all, a better operation than we got going on. Much nicer spot to dump on here. Now, do you dump here and they push it off? Right here? Wow, very nice. So this setup, guys, this is a Galbraith hook. A little different than ours. It slides back and then he's gonna dump. I've only ever seen our hook lift truck because, like I said, not a lot of people around us have them. They all have cables, but this setup's pretty cool for the different length containers. He's all empty, guys. Yeah, up here in Saranac Lake, for you guys that don't know, it's typically like 10-15 degrees colder than where we are. So in the winter, these things, he said, freeze up very bad. Check out this thing, guys. So we actually test drove this International when it was at our local dealer. And this is a New Way body. We have the curb tender. This is just a different style body on this two-wheel drive International. So you guys know this body, look how much more narrow it is than ours. And the controls, it does not have a winch on it. And this is what they would call, I believe, a residential body. The mouth is looks like to be a foot or more less wide, I guess you'd say, narrower than ours. Cylinders are still pretty big, but this is more of a base model truck compared to our Ram 5500. So we're back at the shop here, guys. Gonna do a little interview with Doug. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these containers, but he uses these for like campsites. And these are a 10-yard box with kind of like a pyramid style top on them. And he says makes them about 15 yards total, and they're great seasonal rentals for campsites, at least up in our area. All right, guys. So we got Doug here with Cochran's Container Service. And Doug, can you give us a little backstory of how you got into the business?
Yeah, my dad did heavy equipment and construction. We had a couple trailers, and a friend of ours had a route and did some roll-offs. And so I was a history teacher for 15 years. Loved the classroom, loved teaching. Was going to do this on the weekends, do this after school. So we started with a truck and maybe 6 dumpsters, and then that was in 2015. And 2019-20 became more than full-time, and been doing the roll-offs full-time ever since. I took a leave of absence from teaching, and now I just do this full-time. And you know, it's really been, my dad has been a fantastic mentor just with the business. My parents are both self-employed, and you know, breaking in, the hardest part's getting started, you know, getting out of the ground. And then, you know, we just try to provide the best service we can, you know, calling people back, being somewhere where you say you're going to be there at X time, you're going to show up, and trying to give people service. And, you know, it's just like any business. And with the dumpsters, it's like you got to hustle, you know. So there's a lot of Saturdays and Sundays. There's a lot of late nights doing the books, doing the paperwork. But it's amazing, and I feel so fortunate and so blessed to be able to do this. To transition from teaching, which I loved as well, into a different business that I love doing has been amazing. So.
No, that's great, man. I appreciate it. And just real quick, this truck here, is this a 337, Pete?
Yeah.
It is? Can you give us a little like rundown on just your 3 fleet of trucks? Just say like maybe what year they are and what you have?
Oh, yeah, this is a 2022 Pete. We got another truck in there. It's a 2005 Peterbilt. And we have a third truck that's a 2004. They're all 36-inch hooks, so they're all compatible with each other. So there's no, you know, our thing was when we had the one truck, what if it breaks? You know, what if it's down for a month? And it's funny, when we got this truck, the next day, our first truck, the computer system died. Had to get towed to Champlain Peterbilt, was down for 5 weeks. You know, waiting on parts, we had all these supply chain issues. And so you gotta have your backups, you know, you gotta have your insurance in your business. Because again, if you're down for a month, you can't really give service. And if you can't give service, you're out of business, you know? So our theory has been to be able to kind of back yourself up. And, you know, it's just my dad and I. My brother-in-law drives a little bit. He's got a CDL, and it's a great industry. And there's always going to be demand for garbage, it seems like. And so far, so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you, Doug, and showing us around today, guys. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. And last thing I wanted to say, is it 3 or 4 sizes that you do?
So we do 25 cubic yards. We do 20 cubic yards, 15, 12, and 10. And then we also have these enclosed with they're 10-yard with a 7-yard lid, so we can do them enclosed, keep the weather out, which we'll do on a couple different jobs, or you know, we have them at a campground right now. So yeah, we try, and we're expanding here and there, trying to try the different sizes, and yeah, so 5 or 6 different size cans, and you know, we're hustling.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are ever up this way in the Northeast and you got a vacation rental out here and you see a red container around up in the Adirondacks, it's probably one of Doug's. So again, Doug, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Heath.